Hey guys, Jack B Fishing here, and today I've got a different type of video. I'm going to start doing these more often, tips and tricks videos. Today, we're going to be looking at my tips for beginner bass fishermen. There's a lot I have here, and a lot of different things. So yeah, let's get right into it. So in this video, we're going to go over top tips and biggest beginner mistakes. Tip number 1 is keep it simple. Okay, I think bass fishermen have a tendency to overthink things, make it harder on themselves than it really has to be, and it shouldn't be that way. If you want to catch fish, okay, go out and catch fish. Okay, you're not going to catch bass by sitting inside and studying fishing and learning every aspect you can about fishing. If you want to catch bass, go catch bass. Tip number 2, stay in your comfort zone. I know too many bass fishermen who try to get into every aspect of bass fishing and want to use every bait they have. They take everything they own. They take all their tackle. They take everything and use it all. Okay? Stay in your comfort zone. Don't go and don't think you can do it all. Okay? So don't go and try to use a million different baits. Just fish. Okay? Stay in your comfort zone. Get used to a certain type of bait or a certain type of fishing. Then once you're used to that and are good at that, move on to something else that you want to learn. Alright? Stay comfortable with what you're doing. My third tip is be versatile. Okay? Last tip, this almost, this is like the opposite of tip number 2. Alright, be versatile. You need to be able to do it all. Alright, you can't just use 2 baits. Start with 2 baits. Get used to those 2 baits. Then move on. Alright, don't just always use those same 2 baits. Alright, so if you're not real comfortable using a spinning rod, take a spinning rod and nothing else and leave the house. Alright? Don't bring any other rods. Alright? Take a spinning rod and leave everything else at the house. Go to a lake, pond, or stream that's loaded with fish and try to catch fish on it. That's all you gotta do. Alright? Be versatile. Try to learn everything you can. My 4th tip is improve your casting. Okay? Casting is one of the most important aspects of fishing. This is because if you can't cast, you can't fish. Alright, casting is what leads up to you catching the fish. Where you cast depends on what fish you catch. Alright, improve your casting. The thing that most weekend bass fishermen can do to really improve their catch rate is to practice their casting. Alright, being able to make an accurate catch with a soft presentation is critical. Alright, improve your casting, practice your casting. Tip number 5, spend time on the water. You can't really get good at this sport if you're not spending time on the water. You're not going to catch fish if you're not catching fish. You're not going to catch fish if you're not out on the water attempting to catch fish. This is something some bass fishermen do not do enough. And the most important thing in fishing is fishing itself. Get out there and fish. My 6th tip is limit your expectations. Okay, if you're a beginner fisherman, alright, your days will be different. You can have a great day one day, catch 20 fish in 3 hours. The next day you can catch 5 fish in 10 hours. Alright, you're not going to have the same, things are not going to go your way every time. So if you limit your expectations, you can be more happy with the outcome. If you think, I'll catch 1 or 2 fish when I go out there, it'll be good, and you catch 5, that's going above and beyond your expectations, and that'll make you happy. Limit your expectations, especially as a beginner bass fisherman. Don't expect to catch 20 fish on your first try, unless you get really lucky. My 7th tip is be a sponge. Okay? Collect all the information you can about catching bass. Learn as much as you can about catching bass. What baits to use, what rod to use, where to cast, where bass like to bunker in certain climates, where bass like to hide, how to catch bass, how to set the hook on a bass, how to remove the hook from a bass. Learn everything you can about how to catch bass. Learn every technique you can. That's being a sponge. Just absorb all the information you can. My 8th and final tip is fish from the back deck. Okay? You can jump in head first as a boater in a tournament, and you can learn a lot, alright? Just because you think you have the best position on the lake, that's not always true. Alright, if people are always fishing in these great spots, alright, and there's that one spot on the other side of the lake, or the other side of the pond, or the other side of the river that no one's ever at, I can guarantee you will not do terrible there. You will get bites, you will catch some fish, you will have some fun, alright? Don't fish where everyone else fishes, alright? You got 20 people throwing in rods in one area. That's going to scare away fish. Okay? Great. And that's all the tips I have for you. But now I've got some big mistakes beginner bass fishermen make. So let's get right into those. Mistake number 1 is using the wrong hook. Now, I can't say that I know a whole lot about this topic, but if you're throwing into grass and you're throwing into anywhere else, you're going to use a different hook. If you're going for one type of fish over another type of fish, you're going to use a different hook. If you're going to wacky rig, okay, you're not going to use a Texas rig hook. Alright, know what weight. Do you want a weighted hook? Do you want a not weighted hook? What size hook do you want? What type of fish are you going for? And what types of hooks will they see? What types of hooks will they bite down on it and you can yank it and grab them? Alright? Using the wrong hook is probably the biggest mistake I see any beginner bass fisherman make. The second big mistake I see beginner bass fishermen make is picking the perfect lure. Alright, there's no such thing as a perfect lure. I cringe when I hear the word perfect lure. There's no perfect lure. A lot of times beginner anglers will think it's more about a certain bait or certain technique, when a lot of times it's just being around the fish. Okay? You can have the best bait on there, but if you don't know where those fish are, you're not going to catch anything. Okay? There's no such thing as a perfect lure. I catch fish on many lures daily. If I catch fish that day. But down here at Private Pond I like to fish at, you actually haven't seen me fish on one of those in my videos. I will use the same bait because I'm catching them like nuts. I caught 27 fish in a day, which is like 5 hours there at the pond with my cousin, using one lure. So I'm sort of attached to that lure when I'm at that pond for bluegill fishing. So I actually see myself making this mistake because I consider that the perfect lure. I haven't tried anything else there. Alright, so there's no such thing as a perfect lure. The third big mistake I see beginner bass fishermen make is getting caught up in the past. Just because you caught bass on a spot last weekend, or yesterday even, you think it's not going to change. You have to be very aware of the conditions and surroundings and all of the variables because it changes by the hour out there on a lot of days. So forget about what happened then and fish in the moment and fish in current conditions. The fourth and final biggest mistake I see beginner bass fishermen making is losing focus. It's okay if you're sitting down looking around the pond to see when a fish jumps, because that can help you put more fish in your boat. But what I like to say is beware of what your lure is doing at all times. That will help you catch more bass. And those are all the tips I have for today. Tips and mistakes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and check out my website. Link in the description. So, yeah, I have a blog over there, and I also have the Fugan Squad team over there, which is the fishing team I'm on. Well, it's not a team, it's like a group of people, 3 people. Tomorrow, expect a fishing vlog. We're going to be going to a creek in the woods. I'm going to be there. I'm not sure if I'll have anyone with me. It'll either be there or a pond down there. I'm not actually sure. So, yeah, pond or creek. I'll be doing a fishing vlog tomorrow, I'll say that. So, thanks for watching. This has been a Jack B fishing video. Subscribe, like, and check out some of our other videos. Hope you enjoyed.